You must love Satan in your will, and you will never believe in God's love for his people. Okay, how does God love his people? Describe God's love for his people. And why do you approve of that love? How is that love? From what I understand, well, I don't even need to go over all of the... I never read the Bible, but going from what other atheists have said over the years, there have been a lot of shit. Like God... Even you guys will even say God can do whatever he wants. God can kill. Only God can kill. But the flood alone, because people just never behave how God wants them to, is enough. So I don't understand how that's love. That's fucking global genocide right there. Why do you approve of that? Would Satan do that? Even if he did, I mean, where do you get the idea that I love Satan? Unholiness 666. That only means, if you would ask me, instead of asking me or saying that you must love Satan, I would explain to you that unholiness is only me saying that I am simply without God. Unholiness only means unholy, without holiness. Now, if Christianity means that you can only be of or under God's or Satan's influence, then there can be no free will. You didn't say anything about free will, but that is a common argument among Christianity. So, in a 666, that's only a joke. So congratulations, you're my next victim, upon many victims. You should ask these questions first, big dog, before you put your foot in your fucking mouth. Asshole. You will, however, come to believe in God's and his power, but it will. Why do you and why do you want me to? Why do you believe in God? Why do you want God to exist? What power? As far as I can tell, God has no power. It's only you people. I'm not saying that you have power. I'm just saying that you people are the ones bothered by everything, not God. God isn't here preaching on GETTR or other social media or even YouTube. He's not out in the streets yelling at everybody with false guilt, fear, and anger and hate, bigotry. Now, backtracking, ignoring the criticism of God causing all of... Okay, yeah. So this is for scoobers, which is the main context. Actually, that explains you. Okay, so I asked him, why do you want God to exist, let alone approve of God's dehuman... Okay, so you didn't even answer that question as you reply to that, which is a reply to scoopers and not you. So what the fuck? Why don't you answer those questions? Why do you want God to exist and let alone approve, or why do you approve of God's dehumanizing and sadistic ways? What the fuck, dogpile? Anyway. Okay, that's it. Alright, is there anything more from you? No. Well, since you've responded, I'll put scoobers in here too. You are truly a very, very sad person. Why is that? Why are you happy? Look at this world. Even if I am very sad person, how is that what's your point? And from your last statement, you have no knowledge of God or God's love. Okay, how do you know God's love? Why do you want to know God's love? And why do you want me to know his love? As I've just said to Big Dog, or whatever his name is, how is God, how is that love? You have no vision of good and the beauty of God's words. Where is the beauty? How is it beautiful? How are God's words beautiful? Why do you think they're beautiful? How is this world beautiful? Is that why you're always praying to him for everything? Is that why you're always yelling at people to get saved? I mean, this world is beautiful, yet you guys, you want to be saved. You want to go to heaven. And speaking of which, I mean, if this world is broken because of sin, and accepting Jesus only means forgiveness and not rectification of sin, doesn't that mean heaven will be the same as this world, only eternal? And why do you agree with God's words? Where's the beauty in God's words, and why do you? Well, I already asked that, but God is not the cause of the problems. Okay, then who? The devil? Okay, so how is the devil causing problems? So God never punishes people? That was the devil's work? What? What if it is the devil? What does God have to do with anything? And those who follow the devil okay, so how can it be the devil if atheism is the minority in this world? Are we causing all the problems? That's strange, because if a minority, a very small minority in the world is capable of causing so much havoc in the fucking world, I don't know. Maybe the devil is more powerful than God. I don't know. But if this world can only be of God or the devil, then where is free will? How does that where does that come in? How is free will anything if we can only be either of God or of the devil? And does he define evil, and how we're okay, so you're saying that okay, so exemplifying America. Now, we have a bunch of people in politics who are Christians. And those politicians have many supporters. That means that those politicians and those supporters of those politicians are the ones causing all the problems. Are you saying that those Christian people are the devil? Because politics is the main driver of America, and it's not very atheistic. How many atheists are in government or politics? Positions of political power. Who is following the devil? You're not providing any examples. All you're doing is making assertions. It is not a matter of want to believe in God. What is it a matter of then? It is believing in God because you know it to be true. And okay, why do you want it to be true? And how is knowing God to be true a valid reason to love it and believe it? You're not explaining anything here. All you've done is to say, oh, it's not a matter of wanting to believe in God. You know his presence and his almighty power. No, I don't. I don't see anything. All I see is a bunch of whiny Christians all over the fucking internet and in America. Causing fucking problems, being evil. Making a big deal out of gays, making a big deal out of evolution, abortion, and so on. That's all I fucking see. How is that an example of God's almighty power? How is that an example? How are all those examples of knowing God to be true and knowing his love? And you see it in the miracle. What miracles? And you see it in the miracles. You don't even provide any examples of miracles. Happen all the time because of... Why would we need miracles if God is almighty? And how can when the existence of the occurrence of miracles be a contradiction to God's almightiness? Prayer. Why pray to God? Pray to God for what? He won't do anything about the devil. You guys say the devil is us, atheists. So why pray to God? What's God going to do? We have free will, remember? Everyone wants to blame God. Nobody's blaming God. Who is blaming God for anything? If you're talking about us atheists, well, we don't believe God exists. I don't understand how anybody can blame God when they don't believe that being exists. If anything, we blame you people, because you're the ones that do believe in this God, want this God to exist, believe in miracles, and see a beauty, or, God's love, God's beauty, whatever, words. And you're the ones causing all the problems here. I don't blame God for anything. I don't believe God exists. I have criticisms of the Bible's depiction of God, but you people are the ones acting, are acting on behalf of God. So no, we blame you. So why do you blame Satan? The same can be, what the fuck? God for their own evil, because that is an easy out. What do you mean? What? Blaming God for our own evil. You're the one that's calling it evil. And you're not even providing a definition of that word, or explaining how we are evil. How am I evil? Because I have a name Unholiness 666, which I just explained to Buddy over there? Instead of changing their evil. Why am I required to change my ways? I mean, you're the one calling it evil, but you haven't explained why our ways are evil, and how your ways are good, and why are we obligated to change? Is it because we don't believe and that offends you? Or we offend God? How is that harmful to other people? Disbelief in God is harmful to people? How? You don't even explain what the evils are. You're saying nothing here. You're just preaching. It is not God's fault. It is those who seek to destroy God's... Who is destroying anything? Or seeking to destroy anything? If anything, the politicians fucking are. And you Christians. God bless you. What does... Define bless. And why do you want anybody blessed? What does that mean? How can anybody be blessed in this fallen world? Why would God favor certain people? Why would he favor me over anybody? What does that fucking mean? Anyway, backtracking here. Okay, yes, so it's also, yeah, why do you want God? Okay, so you do answer that question very loosely. Little want to prove of, you didn't answer that though. You didn't, well, you say it's all the devil, but you don't, you very loosely answer my questions. Okay, why do you want God to exist? So it's, what do you say here? Okay. God is not the... you go on about knowledge. God is not the cause of the problems in the world. I didn't say... Did I ask about problems? You answer a bunch of... all these... You answer questions I didn't ask. It's not a matter of wanting to believe in God. It is believing in God because you know it to be true. And it doesn't answer my question. Why do you want God to exist? So you say it's not a matter of that. Okay, so what do you want God... Why do you want God to be true then? Why do you want God's, quote, love, which you just don't explain here? Let alone approve of God's dehumanizing. How is God... Well, I've already asked, and you're not answering. Start answering me.